Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. We just had a huge console mod update in Baldur's Gate 3, which brought the most requested subclass, the Drakewarden Ranger, to PlayStation 5 and Xbox. I'll be breaking down all 16 of the different mods that got an update today, and we'll hopefully get a console mod drop later this week, but I'm honestly super stoked to see that we now have the Drakewarden Ranger here. This is part of the 5e Ranger subclass combined. What's great about this is you probably don't have to download any other mods. If you already got this installed, you now can update it and get the Drakewarden here, which has so much amazing stuff going on. This mod by Sumer Dagnoth, I've been waiting for this one to come to console, and it's finally here. Another exciting update is we actually got the Drakewarden Arcane Vanguard subclass as well, and that's super amazing now to see available on console. There are updates to some other class mods and different things that I'll be breaking down in this video, but I first want to talk about the Drakewarden Ranger. If you don't know, this is the best Ranger subclass just by a lot, because you get yourself a companion here. It's like the Beast Raster Ranger in a sense, but you get to pick an elemental dragon that has a bunch of different abilities. You can fly with your dragon, and what's super cool about this is they actually got the Drake model to work properly and have no wings at a lower level. So with this mod installed, upon hitting level 3, we get the Drakewarden here, which gives you your Drake companion. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like without the wings. Incognito Burrito helped out with that. They've also helped out with my mod that I'll hopefully be releasing this week. But yeah, you get to speak with animals, thaumaturgy, and that Drake companion. What's cool is you get to choose an elemental damage type. Now, Sumer Dagnoth also released the Purple Dragon Knight, which is force damage focused. So this one's got poison, lightning, fire, cold, and acid dragons. And they're immune to the damage type that we summon in, so use them if you're in like a fire area. It may not be a bad idea to have your dragon be immune to that damage type. So if you're gonna summon in the Drake model at level 3 here, looks like this. It's tiny, it's cute, and it doesn't have its wings. So yeah, that's what the Drake looks like there. I think they did a fantastic job of doing this. And Halo Master 481 also helped out with getting this wingless Drake model to work. Now, one thing that I want to mention is that the dragons in Baldur's Gate 3 are very large. So there can be some issues that pop up, like if you're in photo mode and you go to change them or move them around in any regard, they're going to clip their way through everything. So that's just something I want to just mention here. This is unavoidable to happen. It's just part of it. So it is a little bit tricky to get photo mode if you care about that. And the thing is, it'll constantly respawn the dragon anytime that you're shifting around. This is to prevent it from getting stuck and for a lot of the weird things that can happen from a very large model being shrunk down to this tiny size. And the Drake will actually grow in size. Once we hit level 7 here, we get the Bond of Fang and Scale. So your Drake is now medium and it can fly as it gets its wings, it earns them. You also get the Magical Fang, so it deals an additional 1d6 of the elemental damage type that you chose for your dragon on top of its normal damage. And when it's summoned, you gain resistance to that damage type as well. One thing I want to mention is like the Wasteland Wanderer, you can get those for this your character, so you may already have fire damage resistance. And Magic Fang also makes the attacks count as magical for overcoming resistances. That's based on the ability name there. Another thing I want to mention is this will actually cost a level 1 spell slot if you've already used it, and then a long rest will replenish that, but your Drake will constantly, again, summon itself in, so I didn't even have to summon it there. It grew its wings, but if you wanted to swap it out for a different type, you can expend a level 1 spell slot, and then you can bring your dragon in. I love the green appearance on there. It just looks so cool. And another thing, it gets the jump skill replaced with the ability to fly, and it can also hover, so you can use this. It's really cool to see this happen. So that, yeah, it can ignore any of the difficult terrain that you may be going against, and this can help it out with its pathfinding so it's not getting stuck on certain areas. But yeah, I think that this looks super cool like this. And upon hitting level 11, we get the Drake's Breath here, which lets you do a Draconic Breath attack, or it lets your dragon do that, or Drake do that as well. This can only be used once per long rest. Otherwise, you'd be expending a level 3 spell slot, and I honestly think it's worth it. It's nice to have this type of attack. And what's best about this is you can choose if you want to do like a lightning breath while you have your poison dragon out, you got full reign to do that, and it'll do an 8d6 of the chosen damage type. Honestly, it's pretty strong and nice because cold and lightning can also be doubled. And upon hitting level 15, we get our reflective resistance here, which is a new ability, the perfected bond, which makes our Drake even larger and in charge. And it does an additional 2d6 extra damage of that chosen elemental type now as well. There's also the improved Drake mount, so if you're size medium or smaller within 3 meters of your bonded Drake, you ignore the resistance or you ignore difficult terrain, and most surfaces if your Drake is hovering or has flown during its last turn. And it can also carry you and fly you around. There's also the reflective resistance here. If you're within 9 meters of your dragon and you get attacked, you can use the reaction to give them the resistance to that damage type or give it to yourself, which is nice. This incentivizes you to stick near your Drake for all the extra benefits. And here's the size of the dragon upon hitting level 15 here. It's great because the Drake then gets some new abilities here. It's got obviously its Drake Breath, and even cooler, it can use whatever elemental Drake Breath it wants. This also scales up. It's now a 10d6 of that damage type. It's got the ability to change shape, which is good if it's if you're having a hard time getting through buildings. You can then pop this. It's just a simple toggle passive feature that you can pop out. Here's the fly carry Warden, so you can take yourself and the dragon, and you can choose a teleportation zone. It's going to basically fly you up into the air. And yeah, I honestly think this looks so cool. Sumer Dagnoth has done a fantastic job with this one. Also want to give a shout out to Celeste for the Osiris scripting, and the Cerulean Witch for the subclass icon, and Ninjoma for helping out with some of the other abilities, as they also have some dragon class mods on Nexus. But yeah, I'm so excited to see that this is now available on console, as this was the most requested subclass mod from 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, now available for PlayStation 5 and Xbox. Great time to play. There's also a large update to the Arcane Vanguard here by Sathos. A lot has changed with this. All AI content was removed, the new Veridirge subclass, and you can see these really nice icons, which were made by Sumer Dagnoth, who made the Ranger subclass, combined there. And you can see these look awesome. I love the Grave Knight with the skeleton rib cage there around it. Here's a bit of a closer look at the new icons here. There's a lot of changes, so I did do a full video. It was about a 10-minute video where I broke down a bunch of the different changes and went over everything that's included with these new updates. So yeah, with this, the Veridirge obviously being the newest subclass, it's got the Nature's Grasp. Whenever you make a melee attack against a creature afflicted by your verdant confluence, the target must succeed a strength saving throw or become ensnared. If the creature is outside of reach of your verdant confluence, weapon attack rolls you make against them will do a strength saving throw and pull the target 3 meters towards you on a failed save. The Verdant Confluence is whenever you do a cantrip or spell, you radiate the Verdant Confluence aura until the end of your next turn. Enemies within this will get difficult terrain, so you make little roots around your character. And if you activate this with a cantrip, the radius is 3 meters, but if you do it with a spell, the range is 5 meters. This is a really fun subclass. It's kind of like if you were to combine like a Gish arcane magic type build with a druid. Obviously, it's got those nature-based abilities. It also has Mistress spell support, so if you wanted to get like the primal savagery there. And the new Homebrew Blade Cantrips mod is not available on console right yet. Has support for this. I hope that they add this by ZX10RX, who made the Mindweaver class mod. But there's 2 different versions. This is actually the first time that I've seen it happen this way, where the 41-day-old version got pushed out to consoles. The 1-day-old, obviously, they aren't able to test it. They were probably testing before the break, came back, and they tested and approved this. But yeah, if you haven't played the Arcane Vanguard yet, this is your sign to go do it. You will definitely enjoy this class. It's got a lot of fun stuff. It's balanced as well. And I really like the new Veridirge subclass, even though Ice Quiver is my favorite. Then one of my favorite subclass mods, the Dread Overlord Necromancer, got actually a pretty big buff. The Dread Overlord has been updating this, and I do still plan to do a video where I talk about all the updates, because they've done so much. You can see here all the different buffs and changes. They're also playing through the game with their mod just to find some changes that they can make to this mod. I gotta say, the Dread Overlords put a lot of work into this, and I'm excited to see the future buffs and changes that come to this mod. Yeah, the patch notes are quite extensive. Like, that's a 25-day-old. The one was 19 days old. That's 42 days old, 43 days old, lots of updates, I gotta say, and this is now all pushed out to console. Another thing, we did get the Circleless Shepherd Druid subclass by Incognito Burrito updated here, and it now has a nice and spiffy new icon here, so this is now available on console. And we got the Fade's equipment distribution all-in-one updated here, which is amazing because this is great for console players without having to download a ton of mods. And it made some changes to like the Absolute's Gifts, the Veil and Venom, Faith and Fortitude, Oath and Order, Beast and Bow, and Chaos and Control. So a bunch of different changes to those items there, balances, and all that. Graphic Fade has done an amazing job with keeping this mod updated. And the new Fade's Assorted Treasure expansion is also available on console. And if you haven't tried this one out, definitely recommend it. This is another one that's going to continually keep getting updates as they're adding in more lore-appropriate items to the game. I definitely recommend checking this one out. I think it's really great. It pairs well with the Fade's equipment distribution. So yeah, we did get changes to the Oath and Order Paladin, the Rage and Resilience, the Pact and Power Warlock, the Song and Steel, and the Wands and Weave, if you prefer to use these in their standalone versions instead of the all-in-one. There's also a change to the Mindweaver animations here by ZX10RX, so that's nice because this updates so you can use these animations on the other subclasses. It isn't the most latest version that got pushed out to console, but hey, we're working on it, I guess. We also got a change to the Shovel Evolved Mon by Xaeon here. I really like this. If you've ever used Shovel in the game, you'll know they're hilarious, have some of the funniest dialogue in the game, and this now makes it so that they are a more updated and powerful character with a bunch of different progressive abilities here. So you can see all of that on the mod page. There's a lot actually going on with these mods. Again, I will be doing a future video where I break down all the different evolved mods. There's a lot of changes, so it's a video that will take some time, but I think it's an awesome one. There's also changes to the Slayer Acids Dark Urge Dragonborn CC by Akelka here, so this is used for some of their other mods. And I'm actually very hopeful that console will see one of their newest mods that changes Astarion into a Dragonborn. This is actually crazy because he actually was able to make the mouth move properly when they talk. If you ever talk to any of the Dragonborn in Act 3, you'll know their mouth movements do not look nice. I've covered this previously. It's a fantastic mod. There's one for Karlach as well, and I hope that these come to console. They're not currently on console, but that's just one that I really hope with that update to the Slayer assets, maybe we'll see something related to that come, because we also got a Vexa Dark Urge Slayer Dragonborn CC update, and the reason I want to mention this one is if you look at the dependencies for the clan song, that is actually one of them. So maybe they're doing something here, because I'm blown away by this mod. Yeah, we'll hopefully see this one come soon. And we also got updates to the Mindweaver class, feeds every 1 or every 2 levels. Honestly, those are some pretty nice updates. I am so excited for PlayStation 5 and Xbox players to finally get to use the Drakewarden here. This is such a fun subclass. Honestly, my favorite Ranger subclass by a lot. So yeah, if you thought the Ranger sucked or wasn't fun, this is peak for the Ranger. It makes him so much better and feels like a actually competitive class compared to something like the Paladin. So I am hopeful that we'll get a console mod drop. Hopefully my mod will be released alongside that. We'll just have to wait and see. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below, and I hope you guys all have a great day.